Good morning and welcome to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 196 as we're going to be recapping the Super Bowl. We'll talk about before the game, halftime, and after the game. And then we got to talk about the NFL season as it comes to an end. And then we're going to be taking a 2-week hiatus. So we're going to talk about what are we watching? What are we doing during this 2 weeks before we come back on March 4th? So we got a lot to talk about. Let's get it started.
Yeah. I was gonna do a vertical jump there. Thank you, Sox.
Travel been to Indiana, and did Cover 2 Cook get you a good hotel?
Indiana? No, I'm in Louisiana. I'm here for Mardi Gras.
I know that this might be hard, but I don't know how much you remember Friday night since we left you damn near when you fell asleep.
I got my belly full, man. I was like, I warm covers, I was like, I could go to sleep right now.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jack Dorsey.
Final answer?
Yes.
Eh.
All right.
This is gonna be a long fucking day.
Well, welcome back to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 196. I'm here with Anthony and Tim, and we are here to recap the Super Bowl. We wanted to say congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks for winning Super Bowl. So let's dive into this. Let's talk about the game. We'll break this down bit by bit, but let's talk about the game first. I had my own opinions about this, but Anthony, what did you think about this game?
Yeah, this is a belt to ass for 3 quarters. When we talk about great defenses, you got to put the Seattle Seahawks up there. Legion of Boom, the Ravens, all those teams, you have to. 85 Bears, you got to talk about a team like this. They kept them shut out for 3 quarters in a Super Bowl, the biggest game. Mr. Tim Cook said, field goals will not win you games. Well, that's a lie unless you had the Seattle Seahawks defense because they really did. That's all they had to do for 3 quarters almost was kick field goals. Sam Darnold, I give credit to him. He did what he had to do in this game. He got out a lot of pressure because they brought a lot of blitzes to him. But you got to give credit to Pat's D. This was a blowout one way, obviously, but the Pat's D was there to play. They didn't give up any big plays, and then even the touchdown they gave up was because they got the ball in the red zone from a fumble. But you can't be great when you're on the field the whole time. Final thing I have to talk about this game is Mike Tirico had one of the best lines in this game. When there was a streaker on the field, he goes, "Oh, there's a rocket scientist coming on the field." Hilarious. Hilarious. Obviously, this guy's doing a publicity stunt. We almost see it every year. But Mike Tirico, to call him a rocket scientist on the spot, hilarious. Chris Collinsworth also had one great line. When Drake May threw that interception down the middle of the field, he goes, I'm speechless. I don't know what he was doing. Like, to get an announcer to be, like, speechless, that has to show how bad the play was. But congrats to the Seahawks. They won this game. Honestly, it was a very boring game until about the 4th quarter where the Patriots had 200-some passing yards. But otherwise, that Seattle defense is for real.
Yeah, most definitely. It definitely was a slow start, and I was expecting this to be like neck and neck. Like, I knew that they were going against 2 great defenses, but we've also seen both of these offenses like persevere and score against tough defenses. So I was expecting like a close game, like back and back and back, but didn't look that way from the start. And then, I don't know, I guess I've watched too much of the red zone, but I'm like, where's all the scoring? What is happening? This is not that entertaining. But then to go over to the streaker running across the dog pile of people that landed on top of him.
Yep. Don't mess around.
Was insane. But I definitely was holding out for the Patriots in that 4th quarter because I thought, like, we can get a comeback here. Like, it can happen. We've seen it before. Just fell a little short. What did you think, Tim?
Yeah, this was the Seattle defense just dominated this thing. I mean, they were unstoppable. 52% of the pressures against May. I mean, they were just getting after him. He fumbled. They only had 46 yards of offense in the first half.
Yep.
That don't win you many games, I'm telling you right now. But they were still in this game at halftime. They were still in it by the score. I'm not saying that their team was playing that well, but by the score, they were still in this ball game. The O-line struggled against their front 4. That Campbell, they've got to move him somewhere else. He was getting lit up. He was dancing all over the place, and that's because he couldn't control them. So they've got what I heard out of Boston is they're probably going to move him to guard next year and maybe draft somebody for the tackle position because he can't handle it. He is not that good. They gave up 6 sacks. I mean, Seattle had 6 sacks. They just kept the Patriots' offense to near nothing, and the defense had 17. Seattle's defense had 17 points off turnovers. That's just. And I think I agree with you. I think Darnold just played. He played mistake-free football.
Yep.
But Kenneth Walker, wow, 130 yards rushing. He got the MVP. I will give you a shiny dime who the last running back was in the Super Bowl.
It was 28 years ago, so I don't know.
The man right back here,
Terrell
Davis, 1997 was the last time an MVP for the Super Bowl was a running back. So that's great. The Patriots slowed out start, and they couldn't get nothing going. They could not get anything going. I think that the shoulder issue did hamper him. He said he did take a cortisone shot and he was pain free, but you can just tell he just wasn't the same. And I think they were just. I'm not gonna say they had an easy schedule, but he didn't impress me this whole playoffs. He did not impress me. His stats, he did not. I mean, they just won because they went up against some of the last game was because of a backup quarterback. Stroud, I think he just got scared. And Herbert, he hasn't shown anything. I think that the NFC right now is a dominant. They're back as far as being dominant in the Super Bowl. Plain and simple.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with the Will Campbell thing. You got to remember, he came off an MCL injury too. So he's not fully healthy. You got to see what that comes out as well. But like the Drake May, I just think the pressure. When they run 2 high safeties like they were running throughout this game, you don't know what kind of defense you're going into because you couldn't run the ball. So then those safeties could stay back and you couldn't pass the ball on them because that's where the Patriots next year have to go after a number 1 because Stephon Diggs isn't it. He's in more fights than he was getting catches in this game. Yeah. Like, you have to, and I thought Booty didn't play very well. I thought there was other options. Hunter Henry had a drop ball in this game. Like, they have to go get him more weapons. I think Drake May still, if you're a Patriots fan, you're still optimistic. This is his second year.
Yeah.
Would you rather take Bo Nix or Drake May?
I still like Nix. I think.
Oh, bullshit.
I still want Nix. I still want Nix because I think Nix has got a stronger arm. I think he's got a stronger arm.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. I should have said someone else.
Yeah, because he's gonna pick him anyway.
Well, I'm gonna pick my guy.
Yeah,
my guy.
No, I think Drake.
This game, Anthony. Too. Here, hey, listen up, everybody. Listen up, coaches like Ben Johnson and Sean Payton and Dan Campbell. You can kick field goals. You can kick field goals and still win the ball game. The object of the game is to outscore your opponent. There was a couple 4th downs that they could have went for it on 4th down. He doesn't. They are the 4th least team to go for it on 4th down is Seattle and that coach. You can win a game with not going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, but you can if you have a defense that's like this.
Well,
you can't do that if you don't got a defense like this, which 2 of those teams you just named didn't have defenses like the Seattle or Denver. Denver's defense, I think Sean Payton, and he looks back on it, he had to look back on that play. Yeah. And I will say this too. I think if Denver plays in this game, it's a better game. Mm-hmm. But it's still a backup quarterback. So I still see Seattle winning this game. Yeah. I think Seattle, and I said it before the playoffs started or even maybe after their first game, they were Indiana. They were so much more dominant. They gave so much more pressure. They were more physical at the line of scrimmage, whether it was defense or offense. And they just put pressure on your team. Drake May was, I don't want to say scared, but he was hesitant on what he could do. I mean, that pass down the middle at in the 4th quarter, great pass. But it's the 4th quarter. Yeah. And why wasn't Stevenson used more often out of the backfield? They were getting 5, 6, 7 yards on these catches. Now, don't get me wrong. The defense is playing a little bit more of that prevent defense, but go get the yards. That pass that he threw down the middle of the field, triple coverage. I mean, that was wide open for them. So I do agree. I just think when you look at this game, you're seeing the NFC is so dominant. Yeah. When you don't have the Patrick Mahomes in there, you don't have the Lamar Jackson, you don't have Josh Allen in the Super Bowl. You can just name all these quarterbacks that weren't in this, and then you put a second-year quarterback in there, and that defense was hungry. I mean, and I will say that defense is more likable than the Legion of Boom was. And as a football fan, this was a good game because defense wins you championships. Yeah. And yes, it wasn't high flying and crazy, but that defense was so good. And that's why I think when we'll talk about the MVP, why I don't agree with the MVP on this one.
Yeah. No, it was definitely a one-sided way. But yeah, no, defense, like the entire time we're like, this is a boring game because it's not high scoring, but the defense is just putting out every time, shutting it down and not giving those chances.
Anthony, do you think the injury, a lot of them are saying right now that he got out-coached. Vrabel got out-coached.
Yes.
McDonald. Do you think that they had a game plan that bend but don't break kind of offense so that don't put him in harm's way of getting hurt, more hurt, or just because I think the offense looked vanilla. I really did. I don't think the game plan for them, and I'm shocked of McDaniels having a vanilla game plan. And I think that's a dig too. There was a stat out there, I think, in 4 of the Super Bowls that McDaniels been the OC. I think, and that's what Tom Brady. They've scored like 3 points in the first. I mean, they have not. There's some of them that they didn't score at all.
Yeah.
So is this McDaniel? Is this a little bit with McDaniels too as well of having he just doesn't have a great game plan for the big game?
Yeah, I don't think Vrabel's in this because I think the defense played well, and Vrabel's known for defense, right? I think McDaniels and McDonald, them going at it, where McDonald just won. I mean, it's just the defensive front, when 4 guys can get pressure under a quarterback or get sacks or strip sacks, I mean, what are we talking about here? They're not bringing blitzes, and their blitz package is awesome. They compared them to the Vikings during the Super Bowl because you don't know who's coming. Witherspoon, and I gotta say,
I thought that's what you bring up. Yeah,
we're gonna go talk about the MVP eventually, but Witherspoon coming off the edge is crazy. Yeah. That man is a rocket, and when he gets going like that, it's hard. And I will say, Mills from Notre Dame having a sack in this game. Notre Dame alumni getting an interception. Notre Dame had their footprints all over this game. So I know we want to give it to USC quarterback and Michigan State running, but that Notre Dame defense showed in this game.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, now that we've recapped the game, let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about, was there anything notable about before the game, the national anthem or anything like that? I thought Charlie Puth did a smooth national anthem, wasn't too long, wasn't dragged on. So I thought he did well there. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I thought the flyover was intense. I think when coming out of the clouds and flying over was just, I mean, that just gives you chills. And then the one coming behind it, the stealth bomber coming behind it was awesome. But what I think was showed cool during that was they zoomed out and you saw a lot of fans there. Super Bowl's become a lot of corporate and there was a lot of fans there. That's how the Super Bowl should be. The fans should be able to go to the game. It shouldn't be outpriced enough, just like the national championship when we talked about that. We saw Heads winning the coin toss. That's 2 years in a row that Heads has win. I've always been told that Tails never fails. Well, it does because my money shows. And then the last thing I have to say is I don't care how many times I see Peyton Manning. I swear to God his forehead gets bigger every single goddamn time. This man he was one of the honorary captains, and they showed him, and I was like, bro, put a hat on. Put a hat on because we're getting glares off the camera. Come on, man. But, before the game, you could feel it. You could just feel the intensity. This is where playoff games and then the Super Bowl. It's theatrical for sure with obviously a show at halftime, all this stuff before the game. But when you could feel the intensity just building before that kickoff.
Well, did you feel like if you're saying it was full of fans, do you feel like the 12th man showed up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you could see that after the game. You could see it when they were doing the trophy ceremony. It felt like that Indiana game for not the championship, but the one before, where the crowd stayed. Most of the crowd stayed, and it was like, that's Seattle fans then. That's everyone else is getting the hell out of there. So 12th man definitely showed up for them.
Anything notable to you, Tim, before the game?
Joe Montana. Boy, he still looks good.
Yeah,
God, he still look good. I mean, he's starting to show a little bit, but I think we looked it up. He's 69. So, I mean, he started, but yeah, I thought that was, he still looks good. Other than that, I mean, you could have bet on the national anthem on an All-Shores account.
Yeah, you could not bet in the U.S.
You could not bet in the U.S.,
yep.
But you could. I talked to a person that did. So, but yeah. So, I mean, I thought the pregame was all right. It was okay.
Yeah, let's not name the person that's betting offshores because we don't
No.
need them getting in trouble with.
No.
So
They dab. All right. Well, let's quickly talk about the halftime show with Bad Bunny. Anthony, what did you think about that?
yeah, so I thought it was great storytelling, right? Obviously, when he was walking through the fields and showing all that the culture has brought with it, I thought that was really cool. My biggest gripe about the whole thing is not whether he's singing in Spanish, is why is my subtitles not in English? The subtitles literally said singing in Spanish. What the hell is that shit? Like, and then it would be English and it'd be English. It's like, no, I need the English the whole time. Also, I don't know why Lady Gaga was included. She's kind of random. They don't have any songs together. There's no element of those two being a pair of anything. But obviously the storytelling was good. But I think at the end, the unity was good, right? Because I think this country needs unity more than ever. It feels like every year we just keep getting worse and worse with unity. But I'm not going to get into the politics of this crap because this thing has got way out of hands with the politics. If you didn't like it, then don't watch it or don't go back and watch it. If you liked it, watch it again. But one thing I will say is not everything needs to be a debate, okay? Not everything has to be an argument, okay? It was a halftime show.
Yeah.
Obviously, NFL is trying to put people into going more international, right? So they're going to get more of these international singing, artists, fans, things like that as well. But if I hear one more person say it was the best halftime show of all time, you need to go watch Michael Jackson or you need to go watch Prince because the difference between what we see on TV and when you're at the stadium is a whole different ball game. Because if you're watching the fans that were at the stadium, this was an awful halftime show because it's all about being in front of the camera. Well, the camera's moving the whole time. Like, it's for the crowd, and then we just get a part of it by being a halftime show. So that was my only other gripe I had about it. But otherwise, I'm not getting into the whole politics bullshit of this thing. It's out of hand. And if you want to be mad at anyone, don't be mad at Bad Bunny. Don't be mad at that. Be mad at the NFL.
Exactly.
Because the NFL's pushing this shit on you. Okay?
Yep.
So I'm tired of literally social media is so toxic with this conversation, whether it's ESPN, even ESPN's getting in arguments over it. It's like we're taking away from the Seattle Seahawks, which just dominated another team. So, but that's it. That's all I'll say about the halftime show.
Well, I just want to give props to the production team because I didn't notice it until afterwards, but the grass was people dressed up.
Yes. But
Really?
how smart was that, though? Because think
Right.
about that. They would have had to grab people and say, hey, go grab the grass. Instead, they were just like, walk out there. They did have a lot of famous people in the halftime show as well. Jessica Biel was in it. Pedro Pascal.
Alex Earl, Cardi
Yep.
B,
Yeah.
and then we saw Ricky Martin make an appearance too. So
Which, come on, man. You can't give us the song we want from Ricky Martin. Like, we want one song, Ricky. We want
Right.
one.
Yeah.
You know, also, too,
The one hit wonder. Yeah.
I would say this, too. Ricky Martin doesn't look like he's aged a day in his life.
oh, he looked good.
Whatever skin like routine he's
Right.
got going on, send that over to your boy because that's crazy how good he looked.
Yeah, but it was a vibe. I was tapping my foot the whole time. So
Yeah,
it was good.
I have no clue what was said because
Mm-mm.
and I couldn't read it, but it was a vibe for sure. We'll say that.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, well, let's shift over to after the game. What about the MVPs took you guys by surprise? What did you think, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't shocked that he got it. That Kenneth Walker the third. I mean, like I said, he had 127 yards. I think he had 161 total yards. I wasn't shocked at it, but I agree with you, Anthony. I think you could have given it to anyone on that defense.
Yeah.
Really, Witherspoon, Hill, whoever. Whoever had the most. I mean, it could have went either way. But usually it's an offensive person. I don't remember the last time a defensive person has won the MVP. I think Von Miller might have been 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Was the last defensive person, another Bronco guy.
Nope.
So, but yeah, I was not shocked. I mean, he was the offense. He pretty much was the offense. Darnold was just doing enough to not get in the way. But I mean, that one run he had down the sideline for I think it was almost 30 yards. That was a big run because that kept their drive alive and got them into field goal range.
Yep.
Yeah, I was curious because you said a stat earlier about the last time a running back won it, but with you guys saying like a kicker could have been a really good chance, has that happened before?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. And what I'll say is I think with the MVP, it's not a political, but it's a popularity contest, just like the MVP is for the season. It's always going to go to a quarterback, right? Things like that. And if Sam Darnold throws more than one touchdown pass, he probably gets it. But because he only throws one, but if we're going to talk about touchdowns here, Sam Darnold had one, he didn't get it. So why wouldn't you give it to, and I can't, number 7, that scores a touchdown on the defense?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interception
Right.
for a touchdown. Like that's,
Yeah.
and I say Witherspoon's in there. I think you could go Love with the other interception. I just think there was so many more dominant. I think you could go kicker in this. Jason Myers had all the points.
Yeah.
Up until that one touchdown. And I think if
Right.
Kenneth Walker takes that one that they call holding, if he runs that touchdown in, I definitely give it to him.
Yeah.
And I think now you question a little bit with Seattle. Do you go to Charbonnet? How much has Charbonnet brought back? I know he's got an ACL, so he's probably not going to be back till end of next year.
Right.
But Kenneth Walker as a standalone running back, he's pretty damn good.
And he's a free agent at the end of this year too.
Yeah. Wow.
But now they got to make a choice whether it's going to be Charbonnet or Walker.
No, I think they got their choice made for him.
I think so too.
And I think Sam Darnold's going to have a Brinks truck backed up for him too as well.
I think so. But what will be interesting is now that Clint Kubiak is now going to the Raiders.
Yep.
Could you see a step back for Mr. Darnold? I could.
Yeah. Well, and one other thing I wanted to say about after the game was I love how when the trophy is announced, the owner comes up and touches the trophy first, right? Not the players,
Right.
not which didn't even know who the owner was, and then found out who that is. And then also the fact that they're touching the trophy after also putting their team out on the market to be
Right.
sold, which they're recorded today. Adam Schefter was on Pat McAfee. The possibility for this is $10 billion for this team,
Yeah.
which is absolutely crazy. But and McDonald, he's a great coach. He's awkward as hell for interviews. That was really weird when he was up there. Like, he wanted to curse so many times. But the coolest thing I think was Marie Taylor and McDonald were in the same class at high school. And here she's
Really?
interviewing him.
Right.
Doing
That'd be
that. That was very cool as well. But I just think it could have went somewhere else since it wasn't a high offensive game.
Yeah. Well, and also too, Anthony, if you notice when the game was over and the confetti's flying, did you notice that McDonald just stood there and took it all in?
Oh yeah.
I mean, he just took it all in because he knows I may never ever get back here again. I think that's awesome, and I think more players and more people should do that because you never know if you'll ever get back there.
Well, and even Drake May. I mean, he's really down the same line as Dan Marino.
Right.
Second year in, goes to the Super Bowl. He may never come there again.
Right.
But I think the thing that was cool about McDonald is he was going to go do a corporate job. He didn't want to. He thought about getting out of coaching, gets in, and then goes to Baltimore, builds this great defense, and then now he's built the same thing in Seattle. It's just one of those things where it's like you get two roads in your life, and you can make one or the other. And I think that's when you say he was sitting there looking out. It's like he could have been a fan there or at home on his couch, but instead he was coaching the obviously Super Bowl champions.
And I also too, I got to give the props to the GM John Snyder.
Yep.
I think they said of the 5 starters in the Super Bowl that were all draft picks within the last 5 years.
Yep.
I mean, that's just great picking up players. I mean, that's cashing in on your draft picks. And there's some teams that don't do that very well.
Well, I was going to ask you, how does it feel to know that Russell Wilson's pretty much the reason they won this trophy, and that's from Denver.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
because
Thank you.
Witherspoon and all those guys came from that draft of Russell Wilson getting traded.
Yeah.
And Sean Payton comes in and gets his ass out of Denver right after it. So,
A good full circle moment. Well, Tim, you had orange for the Gatorade, right?
Yeah.
I don't think any of us guessed lemon lime, so we were out on that one too.
I think blue was the favorite. Well, I was listening to some people that were looking at, that doing the betting, and that blue was the overwhelming favorite, and it comes up to be green.
Before you do that, I did throw out yellow. And I said, because for some reason, athletes really like that lemon lime. And I remember your face being like, oh, yeah.
Not mine.
Okay, maybe it's a man thing, I guess. I don't know. But like all the time that I played football, it was always lemon lime. Like it was such it's a great little flavor to have. But then for them to do that as the dumping, which they gave it ahead of time before he dumped it. the camera showed
Right.
the cooler, and it was like that for gambling purposes. Don't be doing that shit.
Well, it was in the third or fourth quarter. I don't know which sideline it was. They were stirring the fucking Gatorade.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
That's how boring this game was.
yeah,
They were the teammate or the team was stirring the Gatorade.
yeah.
Oh my god, that you could tell that they were bored.
Yep.
Mhm. Well, now that we've wrapped up the Super Bowl, let's talk about what our favorite commercial was. And I'll start with mine because my favorite was all of the cameos that Dunkin' Donuts had in their commercials. So that was my favorite. Don't get me wrong, we had some spoilers ahead of time, but I would think Dunkin' was my favorite. What did you guys think?
You can go to.
I think the Bruce Arians one was
Okay.
awesome. I think that was awesome. It was for prostate cancer, wasn't it, or
Yep,
something?
yep.
Yeah, and check your blood and blah blah blah. I think that was awesome. I thought that was especially one that's been battling cancer. I think that was a great spokesman for that.
Yeah, I think for me it was obviously I said Instacart. We kind of saw that one coming ahead of time. Ben Stiller and that Benson Boone when he did that backflip and falls into the thing. That is absolutely hilarious. I do agree, but I also want to go to Budweiser. The horse with the bird on the back that then became an eagle. You know what? Just screaming
Okay.
America right there. But yes, I overall though I thought the commercials were shit. I thought they were not as good as that you could see, and even your Dunkin' Donuts one. All the AI, that shows laziness to me. Like you're going to spend all this money to get these people to be like to get your Super Bowl commercial, and then you're just going to have AI do it. Like you know what? Maybe call me old fashioned, but I want the real people in there acting it out.
Me too.
Well, I was a little bummed that I didn't even see the Doritos commercial. Was there even one out there?
No, I didn't see a Doritos or a Tostitos after I said that those usually have funny ones too.
Yeah, so like what the hell? Like I know it's expensive, but I pay enough money on my nacho cheese Doritos
Yeah.
to earn a commercial.
Well, yeah.
Well, you should buy stock with how much you buy with Doritos.
All right. Well, Anthony wanted to take a moment to talk about the NFL season as a whole. So, Anthony, what did you have to say?
Yeah, I think we just right now we have to bow our heads and take a moment of silence as the 2026 season has come to an end. So right here, let's take a moment of silence. All right, thank you guys so much for that because it is so sad to see this season come to an end. We love to see all that comes out. I think what we could say from this season though is the NFC is dominant. The closest games were the NFC Championship games, even the games before that. The AFC has room to get better. But Patrick Mahomes, when's he come back now that he had that injury? You're seeing a lot of young quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence, Bo Nix, Drake May, all these young quarterbacks coming in, and they're unless they step into that role, I just don't feel like they're ready for what's coming on that NFC side. The other thing, too, is there's a lot of question marks at quarterback positions going into this offseason. I mean, the Vikings are one of them for sure, but there is a lot of teams that are interested in quarterbacks with a draft class not being the greatest with quarterbacks. So I think you're going to see some big moves happen this offseason. But yeah, no, it's sad to see it go. I think we're 200 and some days away from the season starting again already, which sucks. But it was a good season overall. Had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. Tim, any final thoughts on this NFL season?
I think the coaching carousel. You're seeing teams jump on this. If you ain't winning within the first 2 or 3 years, you're down the road. It used to be a 5-year plan. It's not anymore. It's 2 to 3 years. Look at McDonald. How long has he been there? 2 years.
Yep.
So you're going to start seeing a lot more. That's not. If you ain't performing, you're going to be down the road, and that's scary for a lot of these coaches.
And I think 3 years is generous because you're seeing a lot of coaches get fired after 1 year, which you can't even build a culture there in 1 year.
No.
Yeah. Well, I had fun overall.
Nice.
The red zone's still my favorite.
Yep.
But I now that we have wrapped it up, I'm certainly excited to now take control of the TV remote.
Yes.
And watch my shows. But before I go into my shows, is there anything that you're watching that you held off from because of football?
Well, I think there's a lot. So I have a dresser that I started taking apart about a month ago. Have not touched that since. That's got to get done during this time off that we have until March 4th when we get back. The other thing, too, is college basketball. College basketball is getting Yes. College basketball is getting very interesting as we're about to run into March. We'll be coming back on March 4th, which is perfect right before March Madness. But U of I's got a good team. We talk about stuff like that. UNC hits a buzzer beater against Duke. Things like this past weekend, we're like, okay, Olympics are happening. Obviously, we didn't love seeing what happened to Lindsey Vonn. But watching, I mean, first off, let's back up real quick. The figure skating in Olympics is crazy. These people doing backflips and front flips on skates, I can't do that on a trampoline. Yet alone is someone doing that on ice where it is meant to be slippery is crazy.
And on a sliver.
Yes, it's just crazy what these. And then watching I was watching the shooting one last night after the Super Bowl, the whatever that's called. Where,
cross country.
I was watching that last night, and it's like the endurance that these athletes have because it's uphill, and then they're just pushing themselves up. But yeah, still got some sports to watch, obviously. So just might have to take it downstairs.
That's right. That's right. Tim, anything you're looking forward to?
The college basketball, yeah. I mean, there's a good game on tonight. Kansas and Houston, 2 top 10 teams. Or no, it's Arizona. Arizona, I can't remember, but it's one of them top teams that are playing. That they're playing for the Big 12. I might pick up Mayor of Kingston.
Okay.
On Paramount Plus. I heard that's really good. The previews look really good. I think they're only on season 4, or maybe I think they've only had 4 seasons. So I like to start. That would be a bad to start with. I don't like something that's already had 10 or 15 seasons. Jesus, I don't have that much time. So, but I wouldn't mind picking that up. But yeah, I'll probably start watching basketball, try to, sharpen up my pencil to make sure that I get the winner this year in the brackets.
Yeah. Well, and I'll say I watched the first season of Mayor of Kingstown. It's really good. So I think you'll like it.
I heard it's kind of slow and how it starts, but then it does pick up.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Well, I'm certainly excited to get control of the TV because I have a lot of things to catch up on and a lot of things to look forward to. I got to watch Bridgerton, Summer House, Southern Charm, The Traitors, and then in March, I got Survivor 50 coming out, another season of Mormon Wives, and speaking of Mormon Wives, Taylor's going to be the Bachelorette, so I have a lot to watch, and basketball is going to be downstairs.
and you know what? I'll let you have the TV because as much as we watch football throughout the season, I will definitely allow that. Unless it's a really good basketball game and I need the surround sound, the feeling of it. So, all right. Well, that is episode 196. Again, we'll be back on March 4th as we're going to take a little hiatus, just kind of regroup.
Yeah,
we're going to regroup before. See, it sounds like it. Talking's hard.
You need a break.
Yeah, we're going to regroup and come back on March 4th where we start talking about college basketball. We have the draft coming up, so we'll talk about the combine. I obviously got to do my punishment after that as well when we get into the start of the season or start of the next season as well. We got a lot. So if you like what we do, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, as we'll still be posting on that during the time we're out. Have a great rest of your week. I hope you enjoyed your Super Bowl Monday. Hopefully you didn't work too hard, but we will talk to you guys on March 4th.